Good evening, everyone. So, I welcome you all for this orientation session on sociology. So, again, before we start having any discussion on what is our plan of action going to be, just to give you a brief perspective on the idea associated with sociology, right? That why and who should opt for sociology as an optional subject. So I have categorized some of the, you can say, criteria for taking an optional subject. Now these criteria varies from interest in the subject, academic background, ability of the guidance, optional utility in the other sections of the examination, that is civil services, optional syllabus, and performance of optional subject. Simply saying, before taking an optional subject, what are the things you have to keep in mind so you can make a simple acronym for yourself to understand that first and foremost criteria one must have before opting for any optional subject is interest in the subject. Now, interest in the subject is the primary criteria. And how do we know we are interested in this subject? By giving a brief reading of every optional subject which is provided by the UPSC. Now, if you see the UPSC website, UPSC gave you somewhere around 48 optional subjects to make a choice from. It includes all the 20 plus literature subject also, Hindi literature, Sanskrit literature, Urdu literature, and so on and so forth. So, out of 48, again, you have to make a choice that which option subject you are going to opt for in this examination. And whenever we get choice in our life, we will get confused. There is no confusion whether you are going to appear in essay examination or not, because there is no choice. There is no confusion whether you have to study general studies 1 or not, because there is no choice. Only place whenever you get a choice, again, is in optional subject, and wherever you have choices in life, you will get confused. Whether it is choice of marriage partner, or choice of purchasing a mobile phone, or choice of having a career option also. But like when life does not give you choice, you will have no confusion. Regarding parents, you have no confusion whether they should be my parents or not, because that is given to you as a matter of fact and you accept it. So वैसे ही यहाँ पे भी है कि we don't choose our parents but we choose our life partner. तो वहाँ पे हम बहुत ज़्यादा dilemma में रहते हैं. And this dilemma is resolved because of lack of information, and that is a cognitive dilemma. So this dilemma is resolved through having information. So in एक second. So again, as I was mentioning, that with more information you can resolve this dilemma. And how do you know that which optional subject you are most interested in? To read some text on this optional subject for, let's say, 1 or 2 unit of sociology, let's say 1 or 2 unit of history, polity, public administration, all. That will help you to understand. If you're not able to pick and choose what is your interest lying, so try to read some topic from where previous year questions are being asked from this subject. And it is doable. It is available in market. Plethora of material are there. You can overview, you can go through it. You can meet faculties member who can advise you on different optional subject. But primary criteria should be interest. Why I am insisting on the interest part is because you have to spend somewhere around, if not more, minimum 6 months to 1 year with an optional subject. And if you are not interested in optional subject, it doesn't matter how optional subject is performing in examination. You will not able to perform. So if you have any such basically thing that you are not developing interest, do not opt for that optional subject. That is for sure, that is going to be more, you can say, making your path of civil services difficult. Then second thing which most of the students look up to is the syllabus of a subject. First of all, we don't want to study, right? Something which will basically, if someone asks us how much should be the syllabus, our always choice would be जितना छोटा हो सके उतना अच्छा है, जितना small हो उतना अच्छा है, right? Even if it is completed in 1 day, I'll opt for that optional subject, right? But unfortunately, that is not the case. So we have to choose between all the available options and which syllabus is going to be optimum or short. So that is second criteria. Third criteria which generally student chooses is whether an optional is scoring or not. Now scoring or not is a misnomer. Actually optional never score. It is the student who opt for that optional, write an answer in mains examination, basically are scoring, and then they give popularity to the optional subject. So scoring is a misnomer, but still many people choose this as a criteria for choosing an optional. Then next is overlap. Overlap in the other general studies sections. Overlap in history or GS paper 1, overlap in the GS paper 2, overlap in GS 3, overlap in ethics. And last one is the background in the subject. So we found that these are the major reason of choosing, these are the major criteria of choosing an optional subject, right? इसके अलावा भी और सारे criteria हो सकते हैं to choose an optional subject, but these are some of the most common criteria observed by the student to choose an option. So one by one, we would like to understand how sociology is going to be basically on this, you can say, benchmark. So first and foremost, we are interested in things of which we are familiar with. And sociology is nothing but a study of society in a systematic manner. So if I have to define sociology, sociology is systematic study of society. And if you see the syllabus of sociology, all the things which are mentioned in the syllabus is what you are already familiar with. The syllabus prescribe you to study family. You are already born and brought up in family. The syllabus prescribe caste system. You are already observing that in Indian society. Recently with caste census, again caste come into mainstream political debate. Then you have marriages. So marriages you are happening or you are seeing happening around you. Then you have kinship, rishtedar. That is also part of it. Religion is part of sociology. We see religion is manifesting. Politics is also part of society. So many topics of sociology in the syllabus of UPSC is found to be happening around you. And that is why it is very easy to find some kind of semblance or interest in this subject. Also, there are many things which is part and parcel of your sociology topic which affect us all. For example, when we see the poverty in the world, we will find the, you can say, concern about the poor people, and we feel more connected with the phenomena and the people, and sociology gives us understanding why people are poor and why we can not eradicate poverty despite of our best efforts, and what we should do to end the poverty. Whenever we see some kind of patriarchal discrimination in the society where male are given preferential treatment over the women, this is also a social phenomena. We would like to understand why it developed. Similarly, when you see why there are caste-based discrimination, religious-based discrimination, so all these things which we see in our surrounding probably give us a reason to believe that there are solutions to this problem, and sociology will help you to find the solution. So that way you can identify whether the topic is interesting or not. You can read some of the basic books which I generally prescribe as a orange Harlambus. So there is a color coding of the book now. So Harlambus book with orange cover is what it is prescribed for initial reading. Read first or second chapter or first 5 chapter, and you will get a clarity whether you have a genuine interest in the discipline or not. Second, after doing this, you have second concern should be what is the length of a syllabus. Now here we are preparing for civil services. Neither we are here for doing PhD, nor we are intended to basically going to do a research in that subject. हमारा काम सिर्फ इतना है कि it will be a scoring subject which will help us to qualify in the examination, and we have to read less. So sociology is having 25 units, and the syllabus is one of the shortest syllabus in the entire syllabus or entire subject which is offered. So sociology, philosophy, anthropology and similar option subject are having a very short syllabus, making it able to complete within the span of 100 lectures. So we at nextias take 100 lectures for completing entire syllabus from beginning till end. Then third part is I took a subject, but what if there is no scoring in this subject? So I'll show you the slide in which we can understand that it is one of the most scoring subject and maximum number of candidates are being selected in any optional subject, if you take a comparative perspective, is sociology. So if you see the UPSC data, UPSC publishes every year an annual report. So in polity, you will read all constitutional body make an annual report and submit it to president. UPSC is a constitutional body, it also do the same. And in this report, you can download it from the Google again and UPSC website itself. Just type UPSC annual report and you will get all the detail. Now, in this report, if you extract the data, you will find that sociology was always better among the available optional. Highest number of selection of candidate in the examination in the last, you can say, 3 years, and in overall, you can say, is overall in UPSC in last many years is from sociology. You compare it with other, you will find it is better and comparative. So that way, sociology you can safely assume is scoring. Otherwise, so many people would not have qualified. So this is another aspect. Next is your overlap with other optional subject. So if you go through the syllabus of sociology, sociology in itself is having huge overlap with paper 1, where entire Indian society topic is covered from the sociological point of view. Along with that, it also covers the French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, idea of Renaissance, Enlightenment, and various other aspects like like communism and capitalism. All these are discussed in sociology. So it has overlap in GS1. GS2, it has overlap in terms of syllabus mentioning social justice portion, which is from sociology only. Along with that, it has the syllabus which prescribe pressure group, which prescribe NGOs. It also have a mention of politics and society, where we learn many political theory. So it has found overlap with GS2. GS3, it has huge overlap with economics, especially the land reform policies as well as the post-globalization era. So GS3 also find mention in the syllabus of sociology. And if you read ethics, primarily ethics is driven based upon the various ethical principles and ethical, you can say, theories. Most of the ethical theories we will discuss from the sociological point of view. So there is an overlap in GS4 as well. Similarly, while studying sociology, you will understand the better way of presenting your answer when there is a quotation given. And if you see the last 3-year or 4-year essay paper, it is primarily a quotation. And majority of the quote basically giver were the sociologists. Like if you see many of the previous year paper, most of the quotations were directly from the sociologist only, and that we discuss in the classroom. So it will help you in essay as well. Lastly, background. So sociology is one of the optional subject. For that matter, any humanities optional subject does not need any background. You can be a fresh, you can be an engineer, you can be a doctor, you can be a normal graduate, and you can opt for this optional subject because it does not need any background. On the other hand, for taking electrical engineering, for taking medical science, or for taking science-like subject, you must need a background. So these are some of the aspects which is where you can perform. You can find sociology as performing better. Now, question should be that once you have decided to take an optional sociology, again, why you should study with us at nextias. So once you have zeroed upon the optional subject, you have another concern and query that why should we study? Because there are many people who are teaching sociology optional subject. And sociology is one subject which is taught in almost all universities of India, whether you are studying in universities in Assam or Gujarat or Kashmir or Tamil Nadu. In all universities, sociology is being taught, meaning there is no dearth of any study material. So since there is no dearth of any study material, everyone can study and basically opt for sociology optional subject. So we at nextias, first of all, will have a foundation course which most of you will join or you have already joined. So foundational course including all the 25 units being discussed meticulously, and every syllabus mentioned topic is covered in its exhaustive basically detail. Second would be that along with that, at nextias with foundational course of 100 days, we also within the classroom, after completion of the topic, complete all the previous year question discussion. Meaning, we will discuss from 2000 onwards question in the classroom. And if some points are not covered in the topic because syllabus has been changed multiple times of sociology, again we will point it out how to present those in an answer format. After completion of your every unit, PYQ is definitely discussed in the classroom. Apart from that, after completion of 5 units, meaning we have total 25 units in sociology. So after completing every 5 units, we will conduct a test. So overall, you end up appearing in the classroom test, which is in the UPSC format only. And they are 5 in number. So it will contain first to 5th unit, it will be 6 to 10, and then paper 2 has 15 units, so which is 1 to 5, 6 to 10, and 11 to 15. So this test will be conducted in classroom and that will be evaluated by me. So that is another, you can say, thing that you will get. And before discussion or before the test or PYQ, we also learn within the foundational course the answer writing strategies. We will have multiple sessions on answer writing, and through that we will cover the PYQ as well. After completion of the test, first test, second test and all, side by side we are also having a provisions of inclusion in this, that is test series. In no other institute, test series are included in the, you can say, foundational course. They are being charging separately for the test series. Our test series is integrated because I strongly believe that without practicing answers in a test series format, your preparation will be incomplete. Just by giving you lectures on sociology would not make your job easier. I have to ensure. So this test series will be having a test paper after you complete the course with us, and it is generally conducted between month of June to September. And June to September every year. If you want to join it earlier or later, it is up to you. You can take a call, but it will be only included for first time. Next year, again, they might charge you. Only first time test series would be included in it. Not only that, along with your test series, we will provide you a video lectures of all the previous 5 year. So, previous 5 year UPSC exam paper along with your course. This previous 5 year solved basically discussion will be there along with a booklet. So we will print it out and give it to all of you, the 5 year booklets of solved paper, previous 5 year solved paper. Discussion we will make in class, but it will not be going to have a dictation part. But here pe pura answer from introduction, body, conclusion to all possible detail will be there. Along with that, every year before examination, they say this year examination will be in the month of September. So by the month of August, you will get your current affair booklet. Because mostly sociology is needed to have some pointers to be add on. As and when we will discuss the class topics, we will discuss current affair. But when we are going to have classes, you are not going to write the mains examination that year possibly, or even if you write in that year, maybe you will write in September and your classes will be over by March. So every year in the month of August, last week, if exam is in September, or September if it is exam in October, 15 days before examination, you will get a current affair booklet of, let's say, 80 to 90 pages, which is syllabus wise, topic wise, and you need to just read those topics to pick up or to write in particular answer if there is a question from that. And this is what we do in the same, you can say, course which you are going to opt for. And so many things we will add to our topics time and again. How many book or material you have to read for sociology? So we only provide you paper 1 booklet, paper 2 booklet. Then we separately provide dictionary, and I will discuss with all of you how to read this dictionary. Dictionary is for your self-reading of any such term which you find unfamiliar. First of all, you can directly ask me, so there is no need for reading it. But additionally, if you want to read it, we will provide you dictionary. We will provide you a workbook in which all the previous year questions are printed. That is what you have to brought every time when we complete our 1 unit, so that all previous year question from that workbook will be discussed inside the classroom. And then this printed solved PYQ, but it is for 5 year only. So this year is 2023. So by the time we are going to end the topic, we will be providing you 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019 and 2018. So these 5 year solved printed booklet you will get. So this is what you will get in nextias, and that is what exhaustive thing. Because I strongly believe that when you prepare for this examination, there are 3 things which is needed along with accumulation of knowledge. One person should also need to have integration of knowledge and presentation of knowledge simultaneously. So accumulation, integration and presentation. So what I have make sure is that you will have a regular answer writing. So इसमें एक और चीज जो है which I forgot to mention, that is assignments. So after every first unit, I will give you assignment which consists of 5 questions, which you have to write seeing the book. So again, that will help you to exhaustively write 25 assignment during the classroom of 25 unit. Assignment will be having 5 questions with book page number, from where you can see the reference content and you can incorporate. So this is what we have to offer at nextias, which will give you a reason to join us. At least it is somewhere what I found is not provided by any institute. Right now, I am welcoming all of you to have your doubts and queries clear. If there is any concerns or queries or doubts related to the topic. By one more thing, we earlier were planning to start by 25th, but due to festivities, maybe some leaves are to be given. So we have decided to start our topic by 2nd of November. Instead of 25th of October. Why? Because there are so many holidays coming down, right? So from 2nd of November, we will continue our topic, and some leaves will be there for New Year, some leaves will be there for some other aspect. So it will be completed sooner until 15th of March. So by 15th of March, probably we will wind up the topic, but do assume that it will go by plus minus 5 days. Minus to nahi hoga, plus hi hoga. Again 5 days or 10 days. Like this year we have promised to complete it by 30th of October. Hopefully we'll complete by 30th of October. If there is 1 or 2 days extra, it will take, we will carry it forward. But rest assured, we will complete everything which is prescribed in the syllabus, leaving nothing for you to study on your own. Is it very clear? Okay. So I welcome all of you to clarify your queries, concern, doubt, if there is any. Yes, anyone who wish to have any concerns, query, doubt to be clarified?
Sir, it will be static as well as dynamic?
Yes. Again, to a certain extent, the question is about the sociology being static. So 95% of the previous year questions will be from the syllabus, 95 or higher even say. 1 or 2 question will be based on the current affair. If you see the previous year question, once they have asked a question on impact of instant triple talaq law, banning instant triple talaq on Indian women or Muslim women. I say they have asked here and there some of the question. So none of the question, in fact 1 or 2 ko chhod ke, there is none of the question asked from current affair. But current affair is important for writing in the answers. So suppose you are discussing some questions which is associated with fundamentalism, which is a syllabus topic. So you must mention the rise of Hamas in Palestine recently, as well as Iran, the rise of the Ayatollah Khomeini or Taliban very often, right? So that is what you have to incorporate in your answer. But as such, it is more or less static. Right? Generally, we want a topic to be static, कि जिस चीज से हमने पढ़ा है हमारे बच्चे भी वही पढ़ के पास हो जाएं और उनके बच्चे भी. But generally, you will find answer need to incorporate some kind of dynamic aspect which is current affair. Otherwise, current affair पे question नहीं आता in sociology in examination. But in order to create additional or have additional mark, you must have to have incorporation of current affair. Any other queries? Again, we have multiple sources, I will prescribe you shortly, but again, this is readable or advisable for reading for those who are doing self-study. So, you can understand that you can do the self-study, that is also doable. Sociology is one of the easiest option, but point is that it will take you more time. Like it is just like walking on a street on your own and walking on a street having a GPS on your hand. So GPS will give you a direction so that you will not make a mistake. So that way you don't need to read anything extra. And if you see the 5-year question, previous 5-year question, bearing 1 or 2 questions, all the questions were verbatim coming from our booklet itself. So this is something which is what everyone can claim, but we are having an explicit claim with a page number we used to release the questions being asked from the exam, question being asked in the UPSC from our booklet. So you can have that. You can have that trust. Any other queries, concerns, doubt? Now see, in optional subject, again, any other topic you can join any other institute, but in optional, the role of teacher is extremely important. Right? Every teacher try their level best to explain you the concept. And no teacher is good or bad, I would say. Why? Because if we are given a task as a fraternity member, every teacher try their level best to explain the topic to the best of their capability. That is not a point. Point is, whatever teachers are explaining, whatever they are discussing, is it making some impact or some kind of understanding in your mind? Whether teacher's frequency is matching with your frequency or not is more important. So again, in optional subject, the role of teacher is important. Choose your optional subject and institute and teacher wisely for the reason कि जिसका आपको समझ में आ रहा है, वही teacher आपके लिए helpful रहेगा. Every teacher is good, but in that way you have to make a call on to whom you are better understanding from the point of view of understanding of syllabus and topic. Right? ठीक? Any other query, concern, doubts? किसी के भी नहीं? No, cramming is limited part, but understanding is the main part. Like if you do not understand, you will not able to cram it also. But cramming हम करते क्यों हैं? In general, if you have understood the topic also, cramming is needed or mugging up is needed for writing an answer in the examination within the framework of 3 hours. If I just understand and rely on my understanding, I will able to complete the paper. But it is possible that I might miss out on 1 point or 2 point because of my basically recalling or delay in recalling. But if I have crammed something, I will be reproducing that within no time. So optional paper is giving you an advantage that it will never basically take more time because you have spent so much of time. Question is from predicted line. In general studies, you might find people complaining that they were not able to complete the paper. But generally in optional, you will not find them saying that. Why? Because everything is from the predicted line. Repeated questions are occurring and we have discussing that every year that previous year question are verbatim without any full stop and comma is done. So, अगर आपको याद होगा तो you will do more justice to the time management. Otherwise also you can do, right? मतलब आपको understanding में कोई problem नहीं आएगा. Without cramming also you can write, right? But cramming is just to complete it within the time frame. हाँ जी, shall I ask you a question? Again, what are your basically dilemma situation? Which option are troubling you more? And maybe most of you have some other option in your mind also along with sociology. So what are your concerns and doubts related to sociology vis-a-vis other optional subject?
Sir, I was confused between sociology and PSI.
Okay.
But once I did Indian society with you, I was more familiar with this.
Okay, okay. Both see as at the basically and every person who is sensible and logical says, which is what UPSC also believe, that every optional subject has fair chance to get selection. So there is no option which is given an extra weightage by UPSC, no option which is underweighted by UPSC or given ignorance by UPSC कि I will not select from people. So people have got selection from Sanskrit literature also. Once upon a time there was a Pali as an option. People get selected from that also. Again people are selected from all option. तो आपको ये देखना है कि which option subject you are finding more basically connectivity with. PSI is good. Only thing is it comes under the lengthier syllabus. It generally took 5 to 6 months for completion. Again, if you are spending, and I'm saying minimum 5 to 6 months, so if you are spending that much of time and it is okay for you, so you can go for that option. Otherwise, sociology hopefully will be wind up in 3.5 months, 100 lectures precisely, if I say. Yes. Any query? So let me check some of the online students and their concern as well. So good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the session. So what will be the best way to prepare sociology by self? So those who are willing to prepare sociology by self, my sincere advice will be that you can start reading from the topics of your syllabus in the book which is start from Ritzer. So these are the book you can take a reference of. So for paper 1, generally I prescribe 2 books, that is Sociological Theory for the thinker portion of sociology, and your second book is Harlambus. Sorry. So first book is George Ritzer. This is book George Ritzer, given by, titled as Sociological Theory. It is good for thinker. अगर ये नहीं ले रहे हैं तो there is a choice, you can purchase Anthony Giddens. But Anthony Giddens is more condensed and language is very tough. So I would advise, if someone has asked me, that Sociological Theory is a better one, George Ritzer. This is what you have to start with. Then second book is Harlambus. When you are in a dilemma, always purchase the thinner one. It is an abridged version of the bulkier book. But when you are going to read it on your own, the better book would be the blue color Harlambus. This one. It is what? Consisting of multiple topics of the syllabus. And remember, you need not to read this book cover to cover. Only you have to read it according to the syllabus. Then for paper 2, you can either opt Fundamentals of Sociology by Dr. Vidya Bhushan and Sachdev, or again Sociology in India, Society in India by Dr. Ramanuja. I will prefer the Fundamental of Sociology, covering many topics of paper 2. And then last for paper 2 would be Handbook on Indian Sociology or Indian Sociological Thought. You can refer this B.K. Nagla book, Indian Sociological Thought, which cover some of the thinkers from Indian sociology. So these are the 4 books generally I prescribe for reading your sociology if you are studying self. And lastly, you can always for revision have a book called as Essential Sociology by Nitin Sangwan. But that you should read after completion of your earlier book. Right? So this book is good for revision and notes making. It is to the point and very precise. Maybe in first reading you will not understand anything because it is precisely writing those content and topic which you have to write in examination. So unless you are given a story or detail about it, you will not able to grasp the ideas which probably is covered under this. So this should be your last reading if you are reading it for optional and when you are reading it self, right? And we don't need to have it because what we do is in our classroom only, after completion of every unit, I will help you and I will ask you to make a synopsis. So what we do in this batch, that after completion of every unit, synopsis in 1 page of entire unit is prepared. So by the end of our lecture, in paper 1, there are 15 synopsis or 15 papers. Though syllabus has 10 subject or 10 units, but thinkers are also there. So we make a separate 1 page synopsis of thinker, and for paper 2, we'll make 15 page synopsis. So at the end of day, you are having only 30 page to revise upon. And synopsis are like I am going for examination. So what should I do to recall everything? So paper 1 के पहले ये 15 पेज पढ़ना is much easier than going through entire content and book. So this is done in the classroom itself, and I will evaluate. I will give you some sample synopsis of every unit in the starting so that you will be understood the way how to make synopsis, and then it will be done by you. If you are failing or if you are finding it difficulty, I will provide you all the synopsis as well. But again, synopsis is made by an individual on those areas which he or she is missing out to recall. If I provided you synopsis which is made by us, probably you will not able to basically do justice to that. But we definitely provide. एक और इसमें आप ऐड कर सकते हैं कि we will provide the entire summary note. साथ में ही है ये पेपर 1 का और पेपर 2 का summary note which is somewhere around 100 pages. Summary note 80 pages or 100 pages summary note for paper 1 and paper 2. So it is going to be everything possible to make sure that you will not need to make efforts from your side. So this is all from my side actually. So if you have any query, we can discuss over it. Otherwise, we can be winding up this session.
Sir,
thinkers are 6 in paper 1 and 3 in paper 2, which are prescribed in syllabus. So there are total 9 thinkers which we have to study in detail. Rest of the thinkers we have to make a reference to study some topic. For example, citizenship में the T.H. Marshall perspective is considered as more important, so we can mention their name. Similarly, there are one or few thinkers, but ultimately we need not to cram any thinker. What you need is that you need just one thing, that is understanding the perspective. आपको थिंकर के नाम से ज्यादा उनका नजरिया समझना है, बिकॉज इन सोशियोलॉजी वी विल लर्न फंक्शनलिस्ट और स्ट्रक्चर फंक्शनलिस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव, वी विल लर्न मार्क्सिस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव, वी विल लर्न फेमिनिस्ट पर्सपेक्टिव, वी ऑल्सो गो थ्रू द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ पोस्ट मॉडर्निस्ट, वी विल ऑल्सो गो फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इंटरेक्शन पर्सपेक्टिव. तो ये सारे जब आप नजरिए समझ लेंगे, अगेन यू विल फाइंड थिंग्स मच इजियर इन आंसरिंग. Because any question I will give you, once you understood this perspective, you can analyze it on your own without going through book or any material also. So I can ask you to write Sociology of War, a question on Sociology of War. If functionalist perspective will say answer to this question, they will say war is serving function in the society. When war occur, many of the capitalists got a market to sell their weapon because two countries are fighting. Similarly, war created a shortage and black marketing, which will be contributing for many of the people who make income during this time. So this is functional. Other will say war, feminists will say the most worst sufferer of the war are women. Any war occur, they become the prime target, and recently the war between Hamas and Israel also proved this point, that whosoever fight, ultimately the women of both sides are the worst sufferers. So feminist says war are generally manifestation of patriarchal violence, and it is reflected on the women also. Marxists will analyze this as a creation of class or the capitalist. Capitalists cannot reside without war, and American economy is a war-driven economy. So they would say that it is the capitalists who are benefited by war, and they will keep on promoting it. So this perspective, if you know, you can answer any question which is asked, even in GS, even in essay, and option subject, of course, you are going to answer. So that is the case. Correct. Again, point is, first and foremost, when you are going through these classes, again, we will have approximately 2 hour 30 minutes classes, which will extend to 2 hour 45 minutes. And in the last times or during the end times, we will increase it to 3 hours, right? So assume that you are having a 3 hour lectures and 100 lectures we are going to attend. After doing with the classes, again, you are going to, first of all, what is to basically do in examination? To excel or to get good marks, what is necessary? So first is the knowledge of the topic, which we will do in the classroom. Then how to execute this topic in the form of answer writing, that also we do through assignment, through your, you can say, test paper, which we conduct every 5 units, and the test series which will be provided to you. And after doing that, there is hardly any question left to be surprising in the examination. In fact, in examination you will be more confused, because in examination you are given 8 questions and you have to write only 5 in all optional paper. So you will be confused कि इस 8 में से मैं 5 कौन से चुनूं, because you are familiar with all the topic. That would be a big thing. Otherwise, it will not be any basically concerning thing. So we generally target for 300 plus. But even if you are scoring 270, 280, it is a good score. Why? Because sociology help you to increase your score in essay and your other part of GS also, as well as your interview. But 300 score is considered as, 300 plus is considered as good score, right? So last year, our student Yaksh Chaudhary has scored 270 if I am not mistaken, but he got All India rank 6. So because sociology helped him to score very well in essay and other paper, he could do so. So that way you can say that again 300 is a good score for getting a qualification guaranteed. Even in last rank you will be finding your name, right? In worst case scenario. Any other? मतलब doable है. That is what in 3 months you have to revise. Class के साथ साथ ही पढ़ना है, and after the prelims examination you have to focus more on revision and test writing. For self-study, you have to read. Otherwise, there will be no. It will be very difficult because unless you understand the concept, how will you write that? In classroom, we don't prescribe any book. Not even our material is needed to be read. Why? Because everything is discussed in exhaustive detail. But yes, for giving some material, at least it is basically we will provide that. Any other question? No, and that is again very subjective thing, right? It is just like asking ki, who do you love more, your father or mother? है ना? So this is same. Every optional subject has its good part or bad part. There is nothing better, there is nothing worse. What matters is what you like most, what you are connected with most, right? To whom you are connected with most. So in optional subject, all optional are giving you equal, basically, you can say scope for qualification. But suppose यही बात है कि आपको स्ट्रॉबेरी वाली आइसक्रीम अच्छी लगती है या आपको वेनिला अच्छी लगती है, तो इट इज योर कॉल टू टेक एंड बेस्ड ऑन योर लाइकिंग एंड डिसलाइकिंग यू कैन डिसाइड. तो योर इंटरेस्ट इफ इट इज फॉलोइंग और ओवरलैपिंग मोर विथ सोशियोलॉजी, ऑप्ट फॉर सोशियोलॉजी. अदरवाइज एंथ्रोपोलॉजी इज ऑल्सो गुड ऑप्शन. So it is not about qualities in the optional which will attract you to take it. Rather, it is your inclination to read that optional subject that will be a guiding factor. Because ultimately you have to spend time with that optional subject for 3 to 6 months. And if you are not interested, no point whether optional is scoring or not, you will not end up getting marks if you are not interested. क्योंकि आप पढ़ ही नहीं पाओगे, मन ही लगेगा. So sociology in that basically situation is very helpful because you don't feel burdensome when you read sociology. You will feel as if you are studying things around you only. Right? हाँ जी.
If I'm attempting in 2025, so what time will be best for me to start the optional?
For 2025, this is the best time, October. Why? Because after completing it in 15th of March, again you have time in the June to October month. By the 3 month you can prepare your optional subject further better, and in the month of June from the very first week you will be preparing and ready to write the test series. By the end of October all your sociology will be completed, prepared and packed up, and now October onwards for 2025 prelims you should focus only on prelims paper. So that way you will be better placed to start your optional in the month of October itself. Or for those people who are appearing in 2024, that is where they have to make some additional efforts. Most of you are doing GS classes as well, and hopefully your GS class will end by the month of Jan, Feb or March, whichever batch you have joined. Definitely by March in any ways. Now, after doing 2 classes, you hardly get time to read additional. So what I advise is that when you are doing classes with us in October month, you give 2 hours for the optional subject revision every day along with 2 hours of your GS revision. So let's take in a hypothetical situation that you study 3 hours GS class and 3 hours in optional class. Now after going back home, I am expecting you to spend 2 hours for revision of this class, memorization or cramming, and for 2 hours for here. So it comes out to be 10 hours. Now 1 hour for at least reading a newspaper, and now rest of the basically topic or time 2 or 3 hours, if there is a permittable time. If you study that much, you have to practice for exclusively prelims regularly. So this should be a study regimen for at least March, up to March, from the month of October to March. Anyhow, that you have to follow whether you do classes of optional or not. But if you do classes of optional, that is something which is must. Right? So let me check some of the online student queries. How optional subject help in other paper? So as I was mentioning, let me show you the slide that will further clarify this idea. So optional utility, sociology optional utility in general studies. We have these general studies topic of GS paper 1 where sociology have the same syllabus, exactly same topic. So in sociology you will find the topics like capitalism, entire Marxism is based on capitalism, communism is there, socialism is there. Along with that, Renaissance we discuss, French Revolution we discuss, Industrial Revolution we discuss, and also partially American Revolution. तो world history आपका साथ साथ हो सकता है. In your paper 2, specifically, you will find the topic like पेपर 1 का ही है सोशल इशू का टॉपिक. पेपर 2 में यू विल फाइंड दीज टॉपिक्स, प्रेशर ग्रुप, फॉर्मल इनफॉर्मल इंस्टीट्यूशन, वेलफेयर स्कीम्स एंड सोशल जस्टिस टॉपिक. Also, these are the other topics of paper 2 which is discussed in our sociology option. So there you will find lot of overlap. Then in paper 3, as I was mentioning, economics is having largest overlap. Land reform in India is also discussed in sociology and also covered in economics. Comprehensive developmental issues which are emerging from it. Problems of internal security like Naxalism we discuss in our sociology when we discuss Communist Party of India, Marxist, and it is based on the Marxist movement. And we in our sociology study Naxalite movement or movement which is launched by the left-wing extremists. Then what are the impact of industrial policy? So labor and society mein this topic will be covered, and urbanization and industrialization topic of paper 2 we cover that. Lastly, in our paper 4, all these leaders which are known for their philosophies like J.S. Mill we discuss. Under utilitarianism, the idea of Jeremy Bentham, virtue ethics we discuss. Then we discuss in detail about Gandhiji and Ambedkar in our syllabus on caste. Then partially we also cover the ideas of secularism, humanism which is given in the syllabus. So these are the things we covered. Then essay paper. So last year essay paper, if I may mention, most of the topics are being given by the sociologist only. So precisely अगर आपको बताऊं, so you can say not this one. The process of self-discovery has begun, now being technologically outsourced. This idea is given by Hegel. What is ideal is what is real is rational, and what is rational is real. Again, your perception of me is reflection of you. This is more in semblance with G.H. Mead. Then we have the topic history repeat itself first as a tragedy, second as a farce. This was a quotation by Karl Marx. Karl Marx is in our syllabus, right? And again, this is primarily reflected with feminist thought, and this is covered with research method and analysis topic. So it might be bouncing to you, but again, these are the syllabus which is what we covered, and that syllabus will help you to write an essay paper very well. Right? So this is it. Then there is some more queries. Sir, in hybrid mode available and also recorded lecture too? Yes. So hybrid mode is when we have a classes live along with our offline batch. Online batch goes simultaneously. And again, the recording as per my knowledge of this batch is given to online student again up to the 2 month or 2.5 month जो भी उनका duration है, up to they have a rule like 100 days or 50 days. So this will be extended up to the 2 month after the course is finished. For offline student, it will be on the demand basis. Meaning, suppose you have been sick or you have been on leave for some duration. You may have been attending your college examination or some important family function. So for that duration, you can always get it even during the class and after the classes. That section will be provided, and when we provide the online access, it is the complete topic we will provide. So again, you can specifically choose which topic you have to study from that after the classes, and during the classes you can read whichever classes you have missed. Then is hybrid? Yes, hybrid is available, as I answered to your question, Shelly. Okay. Thinker idea, we will discuss in that classroom. You will not find anything boring and difficult in sociology. Recorded lecture will be available, Kiran. Classroom notes are more than basically enough. There is no need for going through any other topic. Can engineering background student choose optional subject like sociology? Sociology is for everyone. It is a logical, simple and analytical subject. Anyone with a thinking mind can take sociology and score well in sociology. Right? So this is all from my side. If you have any query, you can ask, otherwise we can wind up. Most of the person have some questions when they opt for optional subject. Have you all taken up optional subject, or still there is a dilemma? So if there is a dilemma, you must ask question to resolve that dilemma. और कोई कंसर्न, कोई मेडिसिन मिलती हो सोशियोलॉजी की जिसको खाने से तुरंत समझ में आ जाए, ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन किसी का? कैसे पढ़ें आधे घंटे से ज्यादा? हाँ, everything. This batch I ensure that previous batch में ये जरूर हुआ था कि by the time we are ending up the topic, students were so exhausted that they don't want to write. So what we have given is, in previous batch, last October, we have provided the write-up for some topic in paper 2. In this batch, everything I used to dictate. That is why it is taking more days, right? Otherwise we would have completed by this time. So that is the thing. Everything which I say and discuss, and that is precisely to the syllabus, and we provide additional things also. So any current affair linking with the topic is also included. Then, shall we wind up the session? Any query, any concern? No one? Hanji. Why not? Next year also. You can just need to give a basically written form that I am not opting for this year. Please extend me for next year, so that it is one time free only. That is what our concern is. चाहे आप इस साल लीजिए, चाहे आप अगले साल लीजिए. It is perfectly okay. But I would advise कि आप उसी साल लेके clear your mind from this thought that our sociology is completely over, from the writing of answer to appearing in test paper to understanding of the topic. Next year you won't need any basically specific 1 or 2 test paper you write. I will allow you to write it without any fees also, or I'll provide you paper, you can write it at your home, and so I'll be evaluating it separately. So that way you will get more options, right? So generally I advise, but it is up to you to take a call on it.
So what will be the next batch after this?
Next batch would be in the month of June, in the 2024. Again, but next batch, again, if you are planning for 2025, this is a perfect time, right? Or for 2024 student also, the best time is for June, and this time you have to make more efforts. That is what one catch is. But if someone has a target कि they want to clear this examination, they would not supposed to wait for unnecessarily long time, right? और ऐसा नहीं होगा कि sociology before examination is going to be fresh, है ना, कि वो ताजा ताजा रहेगा और मैं लिख के आऊँगा उसको. If you complete it earlier, that will be in your favor, or that will be advantageous situation, right? Okay, so thank you everyone for your time and patience. We will meet soon in another session, and if you have joined, we will start the classes by basically 2nd of November. So thank you. Have a great day, guys. Tanvi has asked this question: is it required to write answer in language given in book? Not necessarily. You can write in your own language. That is what good part of sociology. Difference between anthropology and sociology. Difference is just this much कि एक मिनट बैठ जाइए. Difference is just this much कि anthropology is more focusing on primitive society. Again, anthropology, anthropos मतलब primitive man, जहाँ से निकला है, and logos मतलब study. So logos मतलब systematic study, and sociology में socio is derived from socius, that means society, and logos means systematic study. So only difference you will find between anthropology and sociology is anthropology is more tilted toward tribal studies, and to also certain extent the phenotype and genotype of tribe, which is what some biological aspect. Otherwise sociology is more generic in nature, right? So thank you for your time, guys. Thanks a lot, and we are winding up this topic.